Prefacing this review, I am not here to debate with anyone on the type of person Elvis Presley was. So if you're here to start something, leave the comment to yourself, go cry to a blue check mark account on Twitter. Elvis was released in June of this year, directed by Baz Luhrmann, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. And I will say I do like Elvis's music, and like I said already, I'm not here to debate how he was as a person. I just simply like some of his songs. Yes, I realize that none of his songs were actually his songs, but so I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with the good, and there's a lot that I actually really loved in this movie. First of all, Austin Butler as Elvis Presley. Absolutely terrific casting. I really loved his performance in this movie, and I was actually doubtful at first of his casting as Elvis because I wasn't expecting to really like him, because the only movie I had seen him in prior to this was Aliens in the Attic, and I do not like that movie at all. However, I did like his little part in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which came out in 2019. So I knew he was a talented actor. I just wasn't sure if he could pull off the role of Elvis, but he really did. He captured everything that made Elvis who he was, from the voice to the facial expressions to the body movements. It was just absolutely terrific seeing this performance from Austin Butler. I really hope he wins Best Actor at the Oscars next year. I don't know if he will, because the Oscars really hate Baz Luhrmann for some reason. I don't know anything about Baz Luhrmann as a person, but I really like his movies, and this movie is really no exception. Like I said, Austin Butler's absolutely terrific. He feels like Elvis Presley in this movie. And a performance a lot of people have given hate is Tom Hanks in this movie as Colonel Tom Parker. I actually really liked his performance in this movie. He captured the essence of how vile Colonel Tom Parker really was, and how he abused Elvis both financially and physically, took advantage of him, basically drove him to the state that he was in before he died. It's absolutely a terrific performance from Tom Hanks. It's a Tom Hanks performance we've never really seen before, because usually he plays the kind old man type characters, but not in this movie. He's absolutely vile, and honestly, I wasn't expecting Tom Hanks to go this evil, but he did, and he pulled it off very well. I really hope he gets a nomination for Best Supporting Actor next year. I would very much like that. Aside from the performances, I just really like everything in this movie. I just really love the visual style that Baz Luhrmann brings. It's got that Baz Luhrmann flair. If you've seen Moulin Rouge, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. He brings that distinct style to his direction with this movie. And had anybody else directed this movie, it would have just been your typical run-of-the-mill music biopic, nearly 3 hours long. But it transcends that whole formula. Yes, there's still the typical stuff that you see in a normal musical biopic, but it adds a little more flair, where, like Bohemian Rhapsody, for example. It's a good movie, but it's very run-of-the-mill, very typical. But then you got movies like Rocketman and this one that take the biopic formula and use it, but it also turns it on its head and puts its own distinct flair to it. And I just really love that. And it's just amazing to see. I've seen it twice already. I might go a third time, I'm not sure yet, but yeah, the directing style, absolutely terrific. Like I said, story is definitely run-of-the-mill, paint-by-the-numbers musical biopic, but the directing style and flair that Baz Luhrmann brings to this movie just elevates it beyond what it probably should be, but it's whatever in that case. It was really nice to hear a lot of these classic Elvis Presley songs that I grew up loving and do still love, despite a lot of stuff coming to light about what type of person Elvis was between him possibly stealing music from black people, and also something that I'm not going to get into, but it's nasty. But I just really like the music in this movie. I've always liked Elvis Presley music, and again, I'm not really gonna get into how he was as a person. I just don't feel like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on from the good to the bad, and there's really not a lot of bad here. There is a little nitpick I can put in, and it's the use of modern day music within the story of this movie. It only happens like once or twice. It's just, I didn't want to hear modern day rap music when watching a biopic that begins in the 80s and ends in the 70s. It's just odd. I don't know. In the credits, fine, but in the actual movie, no, not really. It just felt out of place, but other than that, that's about it. And Elvis was really fun. I really liked this movie. I wasn't expecting to really like it as much as I did, but I am very happy to announce this is one of the best movies of the year. It's one of the best music biopics in recent memory, along with Rocket Man. And Elvis, I'm just gonna say it, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Elvis. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know down in the comments what musical artist or band would you like to see a biopic of next? I would really actually love to see a Beatles biopic or a Nirvana biopic. But let me know down in the comments what you want to see next in terms of music biopics. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.